Imagine opening your eyes one morning and realizing that the world had already fallen apart. The zombie genre loved this setup. The genre has given us all kinds of undead nightmares. But for all the variety, one scene keeps showing up again and again. Somebody wakes up and realizes the apocalypse already happened while they were asleep. The Walking Dead is probably the most famous version of the trope. Rick Grimes wakes up alone in a hospital after being in a coma. As he starts walking through the halls, he sees signs of panic and violence everywhere, and that creeping sense that whatever happened happens fast. Then comes one of the most memorable images in the entire series. The chained cafeteria doors with the words, "Don't open, dead inside." Once he steps outside and sees the ruined streets and abandoned cars, the full weight of the apocalypse finally hits him. It's a great opening because it lets the audience discover the world at the same pace Rick does. 28 Days Later takes the same basic idea and gives it a colder, more emptier kind of horror. Jim wakes up in a hospital bed and finds himself completely alone. Just like Rick, he moves through empty hallways trying to figure out what happened. But once he leaves the hospital, the movie gives us something unforgettable. London completely deserted, just trash scattering in the wind. That is what makes this opening memorable. It's not chaos at first. The world just feels abandoned before it feels dangerous. So, while The Walking Dead gives you dread through decay, 28 Days Later gives you dread through eerie silence. 2004 Dawn of the Dead changes the setting a little, but the structure is basically the same. Anna doesn't wake up in a hospital. She wakes up at home after what seemed like a completely normal night. That normality is what makes the scene work. The audience gets a brief glimpse of ordinary life before everything crashes. Then the little neighbor girl shows up in the house, and within seconds the situation goes completely off the rails. Her husband is attacked, dies and returns right before her eyes, and suddenly Anna is running for her life through a neighborhood that is collapsing in real time. This opening moves faster than the others. There's more immediate panic. You don't spend much time wondering what happened because the answer is already trying to bite somebody's face off. It's one of the reasons this remake made such a strong impression. It takes a familiar idea and injects it with raw energy and speed. You wake up and is immediately in danger even before you can process what's going on. In Resident Evil Apocalypse, Alice wakes up in a hospital too. She regains consciousness on an operating table, disoriented and alone. At first, the hospital looks strangely clean. It does not have the same obvious signs of collapse we saw in The Walking Dead or 28 Days Later. That makes it feel unsettling in a different way. Then she steps outside and finds Raccoon City in ruins. That contrast is what makes the scene stand out. Alice goes from confusion to survival mode fast. It leans less into slow dread and more into action horror. So even though they share the same opening move, the setting and tone is what gives them a different flavor of fear. That's why the scene keeps coming back. It works because there's something deeply unsettling about the idea that the world can end while you're asleep.